Ooh. Ooh. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. Those cats were fast as lightning. Boop. Oh, oh, oh. Ha, 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 do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. Here we go. So today, actually, there's a couple things. Oh, excuse me. That was not a lovely sound. First thing I was thinking about trying to do here was figure out if there's a way to do a wallpaper on VS Code. So let's just do a quick search for wallpaper VS Code. Ho 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 ho. What about if we search? In fact, it was a little bit frightening. Wallpaper. Set an image as the VS Code background. So there's the reason why I was thinking about doing this here. Set up image. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. Oh. Huh. Ho 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 ho. Huh. Oh, oh, oh. Extension settings. Background wallpaper fade in. The path of the background image. Wallpaper setting. The path of the images to use in the slides. Wallpaper setting slide file paths. Warm liquid goo phase. Okay, so this may be possible. Good to know. I saw somebody doing some coding and he made it so his viewers could change the wallpaper, and I thought that seemed like fun. So that's something I want to do. We'll get to it. It's not right now. Okay, so it's possible. So that's my little sidetrack of the day. Next, we're going to go and we have our instanced scenes, instance tile, sprites, missing, setup, /config. Okay, so oops. Apparently I was almost typing Waluigi. Log programming. And we'll throw that in doing. All right, so that's what we're doing right now. Okay. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. Whoo! Those cats were fast as lightning. Huh! Ho, ho, ho! Ho, 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 ho! Look at that. Boop. Why is it doing it twice? Boop. One never knows. Precisely when he means to. Invalid call. So set tile must be getting called, or set cell. This must be getting called more than what I think it is. So let's look this up really quick. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so we're calling this all right, well, what does get tree give us? Returns a scene tree that contains this node. So yeah, I don't quite know why it's getting called twice. Except we are doing this. So hold on now. Don't save. And pop. Condition. $32. All right, how about we do this? We go and I believe object has a function that'll get a list of all of the methods. Here we go, get method list. So let's dump this out. Dump like a truck. Guys like what? Let me say it again. Let's print the method list. What you got? Show me what you got. Come in.
Did you say bye?
You're supposed to tell him bye, sweetie.
Did you say bye, Papa?
I was trying to, but I figured you'd come and say bye to me.
Bye.
Bye. You guys have fun. Did you bring your money?
Oh, yeah. It's in my pocket here.
Excellent.
This pocket opens and closes.
Very nice.
And it has Velcro on it.
Ooh.
Your money nice and safe.
Yeah, and that piece, if you drive, it won't fall out.
Nice. Okay, back again. Back again. It's pretty good. Non-existent function. Okay, how about we just do this on ourselves. Okay. How about that? How's it going, man? It feels like I'm editing this script and nothing is changing. I feel like I'm going crazy. It really is. It's like nothing's... Okay. Let's quit and reopen. I got to show you what I got going here. Output. Oh, I got to pull down your changes. Okay, methods empty. Now let's get that list. Close. Reopen. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that was like it wasn't updating. Okay, so we're going to go down here. This is what we want to do. We want to do the methods list for setting an object. Okay. Yeah, I'll wait for you because I want you to see some of what I'm doing. Here we go. This did what we want. Prince Tuesday. I don't think you've seen a man die like I have. Heard one of my brothers in arms dying, crying for his mama. Killed a man with my bare hands in the jungles of the Yangtze province. As I choked him out, he gasped for air. He kept saying, "May! May!" It wasn't until years later, when I was back in Vietnam, that I asked the local what it meant, and he said, "Mommy." So don't go telling me you're afraid of the dark. You ain't never seen darkness, Prince Tuesday, and I hope you never do. What was his name? Keith? Trying to think of the guy. He was a former Marine. Keith David. He's on Mr. Rogers. I watch old episodes with Gemma. And I always think it's funny. Like, I just imagine him like freaking out the other puppets in the land of make-believe. Being all way too serious. Just collectively putting together all of their problems and making them seem so trivial compared to like war. Everything's related to war. Okay, so there's our list of methods. I'm gonna put this in text edit. New doc. And I'm gonna do a search for setup. Name setup. There it is. Cool. Don't you go telling me. Might have pissed it off. Let me quit. And I'll pull again. Oh, it was open twice. Maybe that was why things were weird. Cancel. Quit. Pull. Pull! Is this it right here? It's not complaining. Pull. Are you sure you pushed it? Wait, you're using the default testing, not a duplicate of it? Because that's... Let's see if I can... No. That's weird. It's wanting me to pull back on default, so I'll do that. And I'll pull... Okay, so yeah, it just had to... Well, you don't have to. Well, if you made any changes, that's why, but you wouldn't necessarily have to. Like, it's up to you to decide whether or not that happens. So, that, yeah, it overrode it back to the old... Okay, well, let's open it up. There we go. Nice, and these are all normal maps. Sweet. Yeah, it looks cool. Is there a way I can turn the grid off? There we go. I definitely feel like this is the way to go than trying to do pixel art. It looks really good. Does it play? Oops. Sweet. Those are cool, the rotation. All right, so we'll stop. So let me show you. I don't know if it's going to work now because we have these. But if I set one of these down. Oh, no. Oh, it's because you pushed the scene. So all the associated inspector stuff is not there. Okay, that's not that big a deal. So let me do... Yeah, I should have denied that push. So next time, we just need to be really careful about committing changes to the default scene, like once we get it locked in. So let me do ground entities, and I'll do conveyor, copy path, bloop, and then pressure plate, copy path, bloop. Okay. Now let's see if it works. So if I lay this down, you see, pops it in. So there it is. Well, it must have been, at some point it must have been committed and pushed. But there's some problems that I got to figure out, of course. But it does work, and then you have them in the inspector here. And so there's a couple of things that we'll have to get set up. But they're actually in the scene, and so that's what we need. Took me 2 hours to figure it out last night once I started, once I got the prototype done. But there's like a few weird problems. Like, for instance, when I'm trying to fire this specific method after it's added to the scene, it does not want to fire. Of course, now it's just... Oh, I didn't save the... God darn it. I didn't save the scripts. Non-existent functions set up in base sprite conveyor.gd. So let's go to conveyor. There it is. So what are you complaining about? It's right there. Pass. Let's do pass then. How about that? It also fires twice. I'm not quite sure why that's happening. All right, let's just call it setup 1. Just in case it's taken and this is some weird error because of that. Don't save. Non-existent function. But if I do So this is an array. So if I go if object method list dot has setup 1 print yeah, it's here. Okay. Don't save. Try again. Okay, so it definitely doesn't think it has it. But if I go like this and I print it out, all right, there's a list of our methods. We'll put them in text edit. Do new. Find. Setup. 1. There it is. What is going on? Why are we not firing? Why is it saying it doesn't exist? I'm literally checking. It's an array with a dictionary. GDScript. All right, well, let's print this out. Let's just print out the object script. We've set it. Object GDScript. It should show us the attached script. Don't save. Clear this out. All right, and set. GDScript. Okay. It's a reference. Called GDScript. There's the script. And even if so this newly added right here, if I go like this, it's going to take me straight to conveyor. So that's right. We're saying that we're extending this script. Therefore, the setup should be available. And even if it wasn't, is set script. If the object already had a script, the previous script instance will be freed and its variables and state will be lost. The new script's init method will be called. So if we have an init called when the object is initialized. Okay. So maybe I can just tell it on init. Let's just make sure that's firing, right? So we'll go function init. And we'll say print debug init hit. And then we'll save this out and go here. And it didn't. Of course not. Oh, no. I promise you. That's what's happening. Debugger's wigging out. Well, yeah, so my problem is that I can't get the staging script to run. When it creates the new guy. And so that's why they're not visible at all yet, because they're not setting their textures or anything. Because that script, I'm not able to fire that script for some reason. Now, I wonder if I can do on object. So if I did object dot call deferred, and then we do setup we don't need to pass anything, right? Nothing. And then we go, let me get rid of this, and we'll go here like that. And maybe if we do it on a deferred call on the object, maybe it's just like not quite ready yet. Error calling deferred method. Method not found. Okay, well, let's just make a method called taco. Okay, taco. And we'll say taco when it's called. And call deferred taco. Okay. Initiating taco method. Now we go bloop. Error calling deferred method on confair.gd taco method not found. So the init's not firing even though it says it's supposed to. We know that called when initialized. So let's put the init call on here, because maybe it just can't see the parent stuff for some reason. What if we have it run taco on init? Is that possible? If the object already had a script, the new script's init method will be called. So hang on a sec. Let's look at the order that I'm firing some things off on. We're doing set script right here. All right, here's the part that really pisses me off about this. The ready function should be getting called. So let's just try. Watch, this whole time it just turns out, because I've been futzing with it. I hate these kinds of problems. So what if I did this and we set the script and then we go object instance after we assign the script? Is that even possible? Taco doesn't exist anymore, right? Let's get Taco back here. Okay. And okay, well, it wasn't mad about that. Okay, it's acting like... Once again, it's acting like it gets stuck on when I'm doing these changes. It gets stuck on certain things. So a lot of times I'm trying things and I don't know if they actually even went. Because like this instance thing didn't work. Right. Can you export functions? Is this part of the problem? I mean, what I could do is run all of this over here. For the object. But I should just be able to call the damn function. So if I save this scene and I try to run obstacle tile map. Yeah, it doesn't know what it is. Because it's not set. What happens if I make this a tool? What if I made this one a tool? Well, it's going good and it's going bad, you know? Yeah, I'm definitely learning, but I want to be doing. That would be the most fun. How about you with your stuff? That's weird. I've lost the export. Hmm. How the hell is that breaking things? Oh, it's underscore tile set. There's everything. Okay, so. Ave Maria. Okay. So can we set the texture before we do the... Well, as long as you can laugh at it. Ave Maria. Alright, parse error. Invalid export type. Okay, so it's... There's the texture. Can we do object setup here? Ground entity. Let's just get rid of all this crud. Export error, invalid export type. Well, so the problem I'm like running into right now is, so I'm instantiating when we set the sprite here, we're creating, or when we set the tile map, we're creating a clone of the sprite, but I can't get the script. One of the, it like doesn't know the scripts exist for it when I do it. It's almost like I can't call methods on it. I'm setting the script before I add it. This is where the initialization should happen, is when you add. But it's happening here. I mean, I know I'm instancing right here. So you know that ready only gets called once, right? Must be a node thing. Ready. Called when the node is ready, i.e. when both the node and its children have entered the scene tree. If the node has children, their ready callbacks get triggered first, and the parent node will receive the ready notification afterwards. Corresponds to the notification, ready notification, and object notification. Blah, 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 blah. Usually used for initialization or even earlier initialization. Object int may be used. See also enter tree. Called when the node enters the scene tree upon instancing, scene changing, or after add child. If this node has... Okay, so let's see if we can get this to spit something out. So we'll do function enter tree. Print debug Ave Maria. Okay, so maybe this will work. So it's certainly that it just doesn't know about the scripts. Well, I'm attaching a script. How do I... I want to do this. I want to set the script and then instance. Because then it'll fire. But I don't think this works. Can I do this? Object set script. I don't think that's going to work because it's going to complain about. Yeah, so the problem is I can't get. I'm creating these objects in the editor scene tree. And it's like I cannot get them. Let me try this. Can I do this? If this works, I'm just going to jump out a window. I'll find a tall building. This doesn't make any sense what I'm doing. Right. So if I run instance on this before I set the script, it'll instantiate without having the script associated with it. And that's not what I want to have happen, because the script is what does all the magic of putting the tile maps and everything all in the right spots. So the other thing that I was thinking was, okay, well, fine. Then so long as it has the right tile map, I need to do some table setting here. I mean, what I figure I could do is all this stuff. No, because when I create the object and I set the script that it uses, and then I try to call any functions for it, that step, it's just like, I don't know. I don't see it, even though it is there. So it's something about like adding it to the scene tree. It just doesn't, I don't know. Like I can't get anything to fire the way I would expect it to fire, which makes me believe that what I'm really doing when I set the script is simply this, to make this little guy here appear, and that this script doesn't fire unless we're running the game. which means that all my like table setting of like, here's the sprite, here's the direction, all of that I need to do when I'm creating it and adding it to the scene here. I can't do it in a script step, like a custom script step. I got to manually I got to create a function inside this tile map to get all the sort of get our house in order. And I'm fine with that, but I want to know why I can't. I'm being stubborn. I can quote unquote work around this, but I also feel like I shouldn't have to. And I want to know why. Like, why is it being this way? Because, like, if I set the tile map and we add, because we're using cell, well, I thought that if I set it as a tool, I can do function process, and this should, if it's set up as a tool, this should run every frame step inside the editor, but I don't see the debug message that that's happening. So if I go print debug, hello. Let's try again. That's what I'm doing. That's why it's not making any sense. So here's the object. I'm setting the script. I'm doing a little bit of like, I'm giving it some little bits and pieces here. And then I add it to the, I'm giving it its name. And then I add it to the scene. But even if I try to set, so I set the script, which now says, okay, you've got this variable called obstacle tile map. Deal with it. So I tell it, hey, there's this variable, obstacle tile map. And basically doesn't give a dang. So let me save this, close, reopen. I'm exporting it as a variable. I don't even know how I do that. All right, well, let's see if, yeah. And then this invalid set index indicates that what's really confusing too is it is referring to the script. So it's like it knows let's just try ground entity instead of conveyor. So if I give it ground entity, let's just see if it likes that better. Invalid set index, it's acting like it's not there. Well, to be fair, I am doing something a little weird, not too weird. But I mean, I could just I could just do this. If we take this, because manually setting these things is working. No, except that I've got some functions. I'd have to like put my functions out too, like get cell rotation. I guess that's what I'll do for now. It's just really frustrating because I know what the problem is. I know it's because I'm setting the script after instantiation. Because then it doesn't, like, when it's created, it doesn't use the script as anything. So I know that's part of the problem. Let's see. Let me do Godot. We'll do a search. Godot set script before instancing. Is this gonna work? Before it was complaining that it wasn't a pack scene. But what if this worked? I'm gonna just jump. I'm gonna jump out of. All right. So what if I did? That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah. See, the function ready will be called when your scene enters the game world. That's literally what I'm doing, but it's the script association that's the problem. All right, well, we'll just do it in the tile map. We'll just do it. Let's do the hard work. And then this will be on ready so that we're doing the rest of the stuff in all right, so that's our ready gets smaller. This all gets smaller. We don't need to export any of this crud. Maybe we do on ready because we were doing all this, so we need to keep that. Everything else can go. So we'll go like this, blow that away, keep that. I don't think we need this. And tile map. That's what it's going to be called, right? Texture. Should be exactly the same. No, we got to get to parent. Okay. Well, I'll get that figured out. Okay, so now we need to go. None of this crap. I don't use any of this crap, right? No. We don't use any of this. Not anymore. We don't use that. Goodbye, code. Goodbye, my friend. Func. Set up sprite. Here's a bunch of stuff, and it's going to start yelling at me about not knowing what half of it is. And we'll use... we got get cell. So anything that says obstacle tile map, we can cut out because that is self now. Okay. Okay. Then pass the object that we're doing this to. Sprite, we'll call it. And then we'll go we don't want this. That happens on ready. These will be local. Then we'll say sprite centered equals true, and we'll do sprite dot for all of these. Okay. And tile set. Why am I why did I do that? I don't even know why I did that. That's funny. Oh, because okay, I actually know why. Okay, so all right. Okay, so all of these need to be added to
Hi.
Hey.
They didn't have the brown clay.
Aw.
That's something else to try.
Okay.
But I just wanted to show you something real quick, and then we're gonna go on.
I got a pink ball and a new baby.
A new baby.
Let me show you the new baby. It's under the pink ball. Get this pink ball out here and roll it around the place.
Okay. Oh, that's a big. Oh, that's a good one. All right. Well, baby brother's gonna be bigger than that when he comes out.
Yeah, because this little baby's tiny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll get your bag, and then we gotta go in the house.
He's probably a little bit bigger than that right now.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna be little when he comes out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
All right. And then we have this function called getCellRotation. Set up sprite. Can I pass the sprite through here and then return it? And go object equals setup sprite object. Okay, so we almost got everything except for getCellRotation. Neighbor's dog is not happy right now. And we need to pass the I don't know. This is a big Hail Mary right now. Okay, it's definitely talking about something that's long gone now, so it's lost its connection. I am going to figure this out. I keep getting further and figuring things out that it's like, oh, that was never going to work. And then I go, you want to bet? And they're like, oh, it did work. Okay, that's how it used to look. That's how this used to look. Now, why are you bombing out on me now? The hardest part about this is when you're doing this stuff, you don't get the debugger or anything, so it makes it really hard to troubleshoot. Only built-in and native types can be exported. I don't have any exports here. There's that one. Another resource is loaded from the path. Yeah, but that's where it's telling me that the script, it doesn't see the scripting. For sure. Because no prints are coming out, except the ones that are creating the instance of the object. But then anything inside the scripting side of that, it doesn't. What I was thinking might be possible is to have an initial, because I'm staging this with this, where is it? Base scene that I'm fabricated that is being instanced. It's the pack scene to add it to the scene tree. Now, normally in the game, you can instance this stuff, and it doesn't have to be a scene. You can do everything in code. But in the case of adding something to a scene tree, it has to exist as a pack scene. Now, I have found a way to make pack scene out of code, but regardless, it still has to be a packed scene. But I'm wondering if I added like a script here so that when this gets instanced, it like somehow gets ready. Like these two things, right? So if I had a script where I just said, hey, you need to have these variables, then I know when it's instanced, it would at least be there. So let me just try that first. So we'll do ready. We'll put ready back, right? So this gets us exactly how we used to be when we would instantiate these in code at start. Okay. Now we go and we say, except that this is actually a little bit different. And I could actually, let me look at the comparisons here. Ground entity. Yeah, I did do onReady get tile map for the node entities. So let's just reset it all. Discard the changes. Okay, so now we're back to where we were. Long time ago. I can still remember. But these two guys, where are you being used? Down here. And that's on the setup. Okay, so So really, this is the only thing I need to be setting, because this is the thing that's getting fired. That's not. Well, okay. Let's just hang on a sec. This stuff will still work. So if I go here. And I go like this, and I save this, and then I run this. Okay, is the cell correct? Yes. Okay, so then 7,2, that's us. All right, so the rest of this should work, except for, yeah, obstacle tile map. It's like, what are you talking about, brah? And so we could go just straight tile map, because this happens on here. Same with this. Is that? Am I doing it? Pa, are we doing it? There it is. So we have it in game. We do not have it in scene here, right? So what if we just set ready fires on instance? I can't know what script it needs. They really don't. They don't give you an option to report people. All right, he's banned. Is the script an existing object? Don't you need to instantiate the script itself, or is that what you're doing already? Technically, that's what I'm doing already. I'm not instantiating it. I'm loading the resource. So yeah, so right here, script load, and then this right here is this right here, the path to the script for the specific tile set. So we load it up, we instance the object, all right, and then we set the script after that. And that's the problem, because then the script's ready function doesn't get fired. It only gets fired when you run the scene in the game. Because we're instancing here when we add it into the scene for the editor. So what we could do is basically duplicate the ready, because it's going to be the same every time. But the problem with that is that when we hit instance, that's not going to work. But if we preload, hang on a second. Let's go here, attach a script. I think I got it. Default ground entities. We're going to say ground entities. Sprite. I don't like the name, but we'll do, it'll do. So now if we have this, then we can set up, okay, this is going to work. Cause, yeah, this is going to work. Ground entity. So, we're actually going to keep all of this in our current one, but, I'll literally just copy all this over, and then we're going to get rid of all this stuff. Here's our ground entity sprite, and we're just going to go spit it all out. We don't need all this, because what we're going to do is we're going to have a script step, or a function called setup, where we pass the cell and the tile map here. And then we don't need any of this. Okay. We don't need this step. And obstacle tile map is what we need to use for getting the tile set. So whenever it says tile map, right? Yeah. Okay. So we go bloop, bloop. Let's just do a find. And then we're gonna, where are we starting at? We're here. Okay, and then we need to, what do we call? We only call is flipped and this guy on ourselves. Okay, so get direction we don't need. Is mirrored we don't need. We don't need these entered shapes stuff. So this should get us close. So we just still need to pass is flipped cell. So we do need to set the cell, and we do need this to be global vector 2. So I was wrong about that. Ground entity. Let's just double check. Did I do string? We did string. String to var. That's weird. Why didn't I do vec2 here? That should be a vec2. Because I'm expecting it to be a vec2. So that's our cell values. So setup, fires, and then we're hitting these ones up here, but we still need, so we do need, so we'll just, we'll do tile map equals obstacle tile map. That's going to set it for, well, we could just pass everything. Might as well, actually. We have them both here. Function setup, cell, string to var. So this is going to be, we don't need, oh, we don't need this. Hang on. I keep changing everything again and again. We'll just keep passing this pattern. Okay, so Then we'll do that here, and we'll do that here, and then we'll put those here and here, and then instead of tile map, okay, so that looks good. And now we've got that associated. Oh, we got to save this. Now let's reopen it just to make sure we're pointing to this script. We are. Okay, so now in theory, when the this guy fires here, we can say setup on it. Even though we're doing sep script, we could do that at the end even if we're feeling cheeky. Because it doesn't matter at this point, because we know it doesn't fire, but just to be sure, we can put it over there. We're setting the name. And then we go object.setup, and then we pass cell texture. Is it texture? Tile map. So do we just do self for tile map? Obstacle tile map is flipped. Salutation. I believe that's it. Obstacle tile map to world. So that's, we're passing the reference. Okay, for our setup. Let's see what happens. Get rid of this guy. And we don't, you know what? We don't need to do this. Save and close. Open it back up. All right, let's delete that. Pray. Son of a bitch. Didn't work. It's doing the exact same error message, and I'm not assigning. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's call setup after we add it. Okay. After we add it to scene tree, we call setup. Non-existent function. What a load of horse poop. All right, I gotta stop. I've been doing this for too long. So if I don't call this, it'll add fine. Yep. All right, well, as an experiment, does ready fire? Print. No. Does a knit fire? No. So the only way I can manipulate this is in here on creation. Which is fine. So attached scripts to scenes don't fire in the editor. But that's not true. We know that's not true. Because if there's a tool, so let's try tool. Okay. Okay, we're still hitting it. It's just that the... Okay, well, let's just get these basic things here. We'll skip. Let's just get the position right, just as a proof. So we're setting the texture, and we just need to move the object position to map to world, cell size divided by. Okay, so if we do this, then when we throw that texture on, it should be in the right spot. And this is proof that I can do it this way without firing the script. Now, if I make this invisible, there it is. That's all the proof I need. So that sucks. But I mean, then we get this, right? This is what we're talking about. We want to be able to go here and click on the sprite and then have the things be here. We also need this to be locked. So I've got to figure out how to do that too. But then it can't be moved, which is also important. So I spent 2 hours to beat around the bush. I tried. I gave it my best. But I've got to do this staging stuff here when I create it in the scene tree in order for it to look properly. And then I still have to keep these steps on ready because, I really wouldn't at that point because they would exist in the scene tree that way. So then I would be able to get rid of this. As long as these area 2Ds and collision shapes show up properly. If I can get those added in. Otherwise, I'll have to prefab them and then set their values. Which is fine. Either way is fine. Alright, well, I know I'm doing tomorrow. Golly. I keep thinking I'm going to actually do the obstacles and then... Yoop. But I'm very close. It's just this silliness. But... we can get it. All right, White Jesus, thank you for your assistance and your viewership and just cheering me on, man. Anybody else who's watching? Yeah, it is. It's just like you just feel like you just burn time. Okay. Well, peace out, everybody. Have a good night. How do I end this? Tomorrow is another day.